I think this is POLI 205, Introductory Statistics for Political and Social Sciences. This is your last chance. If you're in the wrong room, quietly exit with your head down, mini walk of shame out the door. Godspeed. Okay. Always happens. So I have on the syllabus 01 or 02. That's because this is classes taught in a hybrid fashion, which means we meet in person one day a week, and then the other day a week I expect you to do something online, whether it's watch a video, do an exercise, something along those lines. Okay? So I think this is my Thursday class. Some of you are in my Tuesday class but came anyways. I'm cool with that. That's fine. I actually don't care whether you come on Tuesday or Thursday. It'll really mess me up when I go to call names, but if you have an appointment with your advisor on Tuesday and you want to come on Thursday, that's fine. If you want to leave for the weekend and you're in the Thursday class and you want to come on Tuesday, I'm fine with that too. Also, I hate to say it, but if you don't come to class at all, that's your choice, and that's fine too, because I audio record and video record my slides for every lecture and post them online. Okay? So even if you are missing syllabus day, which the Tuesday class is, the Tuesday class isn't going to get a syllabus day because I'm going to post this video online and they're going to watch it. And that's the plan. Okay? No problem. So, my name is Frederick Wood, Dr. Wood, Professor Wood, Wood. Those are your three options. That's my email address. That's the explanation of the class. It's either Tuesday or Thursday. Office. I'm going to tell you Britton Hall 357. So that's this building, 3rd floor. But there's a strange thing going on where I actually have 2 offices this semester. In addition to being a professor of politics, I'm also, for this semester, the chair of the Department of Communication, Media, and Culture. So I have an office over on the comm side of the hallway in 312. I plan to hold my instructor office hours in my political science office. So that's why I put 357 on there. If you come by my office and I'm not there, check the whiteboard that's right next to my office door, and it'll tell you where I'm at. So I might have to be over in 312 for some unknown reason. But it's just all the same building, same floor, just different sides of the building, okay? My office hours are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 to 10:30. They're before class. If you can't make those because you are in the class before, or the 2 classes before, feel free to try to make an appointment with me. I do have some availability right after class. I also have lots of availability on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I think I'm going to be over in the comm department being their chair. I can do Skype if need be. No student has ever asked me to do it, but I'm available. And I have a telephone, although you'll never call me. But sometimes you might want to call and leave a really long voicemail instead of typing out an email. Feel free to do that because it'll come to this phone as a voicemail. So my office phone voicemail comes to my cell phone voicemail. Okay? I really prefer email because A, I can document all the times you ask me for help, and B, it goes to my phone, it's with me always, and I can shoot you a quick message back answering your question, like, Professor Wood, do we have class every day on Tuesday and Thursday, or just one, which is an actual email I got? So feel free to send me emails. Because I'm department chair, I get a little busy, and so if you just don't hear from me after a day, like a full 24 hours, just send me the email again. Maybe I'll have a better shot. That's me, where I am, how you can get a hold of me. Any questions at all about me? Anything? Now's your chance. You don't care about me? You don't want to know anything? Is that the way this relationship's going to go? I haven't gotten there yet. This is all about me. I'm at the top of the syllabus. I told you where you can find me and how to get a hold of me. I didn't tell you anything about me. I gotta fix this setting because this video is gonna suck if I have to constantly log in. Well, fine. You don't get to know anything about me then. You'll just have to learn throughout the course. Speaking of the course, I got like 8 different ways to describe what you're going to do here. I think the simplest way is to tell you that you're going to learn statistics and how to use them in the social and behavioral sciences. I'm a political scientist by training, but political science is what we call a soft science. It's a social science. It's not like chemistry or physics, biology, the hard sciences where you like can have rocks and stuff. In the social sciences, I have soft things. I have people. I have institutions to study. So I'm going to teach you some statistics and how we use them in social science. Many of you are here because this is just a math core class, and so I have to do these math concepts. Some of you are here because you're a public health major. Some of you are here because you don't want to take Stats 201 and you're an Intel major. That's fine. As a core class, we get students from all throughout different majors, and that's a good thing. And you can feel free to ask me questions about your discipline and how this would work there. Next page. Distance learning in Moodle. It's a hybrid class. You're going to have to do stuff online. So if you don't have a good internet connection at home, if your data plan on your phone is limited to like half of a gigabyte, might want to find some time to go to the library. You're going to have to do things on Moodle. If Moodle just hates you, I ask that you be nice to Moodle. Try to, learn a little bit about it. There actually are staff that can help you with Moodle if you're having issues. It might be a thing where we just need to reset your account. Don't just be defeated by Moodle. Actively seek out ways to conquer it and to get better at it. The biggest problem that we're going to have in this class is actually when you're on Moodle on your phone taking a quiz. Not all phones can get the little pictures that I put in the test questions. So if you're taking a quiz on your phone, you might, especially when we're doing the math stuff, have some issues. So you might want to do those on a laptop. The quizzes only take about 10 minutes. You can go to the library in between classes or something like that. Doesn't happen to everybody, but it can happen. And then there's pop-ups and things like that, and I hate pop-ups on my phone. So I hope you can use Moodle. This is what the class looks like on Moodle. Right now it's showing my spring section because it just created the class about 20 minutes ago. And I have to go through and change all the dates to reflect the fall semester instead of the spring semester. But the way that the course is set up online is each week has its own section. So we're in the Start Here week, where we'll have things like the syllabus, where I will post the video from today's class session. I also have on there other reading, like the Academic Integrity Code. We'll talk about that in a minute. Various links to contact me. The great thing about Moodle is that I can just put the same content up about 4 different ways, and that way you can find it at least once. Your textbook has a website. I'll put that link up there. The math department actually does math outreach office hours. If you've ever seen people over in HTC doing math and you're like, what the hell are you doing that here for? They actually do that as a program. Once they send out the schedule for this semester, I'll let you know when their statistics professors are available, although you really should try to get a hold of me first. Link to the Math Learning Center, and I also have a link to a free textbook. It's not the same as our textbook, but it's free, and if you don't understand our textbook, you can always take a look at the free one. That's the stuff for this week. Next week, when we actually start doing content, you'll see that there is a video for the classes. Again, they've loaded last spring, so my last spring's Tuesdays and Thursday lectures are there. They won't be there. I'll get rid of those. You'll see videos for the other half of the week. So next week, I'm going to talk to you about statistics and why it's useful. And I'm also going to ask you to watch a video on the main data source that we're going to use in this class, the SDA website. So that's your Thursday, people. That's your Tuesday class. Once we get into the math, the videos will be going over section exercises. Remember back in high school when you were taking a math class, you had homework like every day? Well, I could do that in here. Every week, I assign a problem set, and then you turn it in the next week, and then I grade it, and then 2 weeks later, after you've done it and the lesson is gone, you find out if you did it right or wrong. That's not really going to work 2 weeks later. So what I've done instead is, instead of giving you the problem set homework and then waiting for grade it, I give you the problem set, you do it if you're a good student, and then you watch me do it so you can see what the right answer is. Or the right way on how to do it, how to answer that question. So once we get into doing actual math in section 3, that'll be the video for the week, and it'll be your other class. Does that make sense? Heads nod. Yeah, like that. Good. All right. At the end of each section, actually no, before I do that, if I have lecture notes, I don't have lecture notes for syllabus day, but if I do a PowerPoint presentation, I'll put that up there. I try to do it before class, so that way if you want to print it out and take notes on it, you can. You don't have to. It's all up to you. Each section has an extra help, which are a collection of links about some of the concepts I've talked about in class. I firmly believe that if you don't understand it when I explain it to you, we just need to find the right person to explain it to you in a different way that makes sense. So I don't care if you learn it from me, or you learn it from extra help, or if you learn it from the math outreach, or you learn it from the math lab. I just want you to learn it. So that's why I have these extra help sections. And they're mostly videos. Sometimes they're simulation websites, but they're available to you. And then finally, when you're ready, take the quiz for the section. The quiz is mainly based off of 2 things: the reading, first of all, and my lecture, second of all. Right? Reading and lecture. Those are the questions that are on the section exercise. They only take about 10 minutes, even though I give you an hour. And I expect those to be honest assessments of what you know. So I don't expect you to look up every question from the textbook and you take the full hour to do it. Right? They should be done in about 10 minutes. You read the question, you select the answer, you move on to the next one. If the entire class gets 100 on them, I'll just shut them down and we'll do in-class little quizzes. Right? If it becomes academic cheating exercises, then I'll get rid of them. But I've been pretty good the last couple of years just saying, this is a very simple thing for you to do. They're very similar to test questions. You should do those. The class itself is broken up into 6 sections for the first half. So you'll do 1 through 6. We'll have a midterm in class. Then we'll do another 6 sections. And that'll take us to the end of the class. Each major component of your grade has its own section. So there's the section exercises throughout. There's a midterm exam. There's a course paper and a final exam. And it's all on Moodle already. I've been fortunate enough in the last 3 years in teaching this class every semester. I think I've got it down. Like, I think it's built, ready to go. I offered it this summer online. If there's anything missing or broken, feel free to let me know, but I think we're in good shape. And the reason that I want the class live on day 1 is to reduce the anxiety of taking a hybrid class. Okay. As I said, this just got created about 25 minutes ago, so I have to this afternoon go through and fix all the dates and the due dates and that. So when it changes today, don't freak out. I'm just changing dates. Content's all there. Okay. Let's go back to the syllabus. Oops, don't beep at me. No. Back to the syllabus. I do my best to edit these like pauses out of the course videos. So that was discussing Moodle. Student responsibilities. All right, what do I expect you to do? First of all, I expect you to do your best in the class. Very simple. I expect you to do your best in the class, not your roommate's best in the class or Google's best in the class or your mom that teaches prob stats in high school. Like, I expect you to do your best in the class. It's your name on the transcript, your name on the diploma. Like, so this viewpoint is informed by the fact that for 3 years I was this university's academic integrity officer, which is the person responsible for mediating and adjudicating disputes between students and faculty about whether or not a student plagiarized on a paper. So in the 3 years that I did that, I oversaw about 600 cases. I've seen almost everything, including some really good stories. Like, I witnessed a breakup in live, real time, in my office. That was cool. Felt bad for her, but that was cool. I've seen everything from coastal dropouts trying to sell their services as paper editors. That was a fun one. I've seen this weird thing in biology where there's somebody out there that thinks that it's helpful to mass email the anatomy class previous exams. It's anatomy. Like, I could give you the test questions, and if you haven't memorized all 206 bones and tendons and muscles, like, you're screwed. Like, it's pretty much like you know what the questions are going to be. What's this? That was a fun one. So as a result, one of the things that I've learned is if instructor expectations are clear from the beginning, it reduces the probability that students will get confused and therefore find themselves in an academic integrity dispute. So if I'm clear from the beginning that I expect you to do your own work, and if you don't, you will fail my class, then I shouldn't have any incidents. And so that's what that says. Don't cheat. Do your own work. If you have questions about whether or not you're doing something wrong, ask me. Digital etiquette, this is an online class, but also, I should just say etiquette. It's an online class. We'll talk about things that are different and weird and strange, whether it's spanking your children or penis length or doing drugs as data examples. So just, be a kind person. I have responsibilities to the class as well. I will be as available to you as humanly possible, which means when you ask to schedule office hours or an appointment outside of office hours, I will do that. That's my responsibility to make sure you have the content. It's my responsibility to answer your questions over email. It's my responsibility to make sure that we have done everything we can so that you can learn this. That's my responsibility. I'm aware of it. I acknowledge it. But I can't help you unless you ask for help. I'm always trying to do my best. If you think I could do something better, let me know. Course text. All right. The current version of the textbook has a fall windy road. The previous version was blue and it had a roller coaster on it. I've yet to find a huge difference between the two. This is going to be the semester where I find out if there is a difference between the two. If you have the blue one, you're probably okay. Like I said, I have not seen a difference between the two, and it's not like math becomes dated. So if you have the blue one, you're probably okay. If you've already purchased this one has the resale value. The blue one has no resale value, if that's in your thing. I can't pronounce his last name because I'm bad with names, so it's Howard. It's the Howard book, because I can pronounce Howard's name. That's required. So that's where I base the questions on the quizzes and the tests on. This is a recommended book. I don't know if the bookstore picked it up or not, but if it didn't, you can add it later. For those of you who are political science majors or Intel majors, this is a quick little book on sort of orienting yourself as a social scientist. But because this is a math core class, I don't do too much political science only stuff. But for those of you who are my political science students, you can take a look at this thinking like a political scientist. Has anybody been to the bookstore to get the book? Do they have it? The red leafy one. They had it? Did they have more than one? Okay. Please go ahead and get that. Like I said, your quizzes, exams are built off of the fact that I expect you to have the book and do the reading. If there's a delay, you can't get your books for 2 weeks, use the instructor's resources website. It has things like flashcards and little quizzes, and so you can get some of the content from there. Actually, with the second edition, they now have additional videos. So you can watch more videos of people doing math. The important part, the grading. So we're going to do 12 section exercises. They're fairly low stakes, so hopefully you won't cheat on them. Right? All 12 of those will add up to a 30-year grade. We'll have a midterm exam. It'll be in class. I'll bring the calculators and the equation sheet and the pencils. All you have to do is show up. That'll be worth 20%. You're going to write a course paper. The course paper is you demonstrating to me that not only have you learned the methods, learned the math, but you can also use it in a way to test a research hypothesis to get an answer. That's the whole point of this class, why I created it instead of taking Stat 201. I like the stats people. They're okay. But what they don't do in that class is actually apply it in a social science setting, so testing a hypothesis. That's why I created this class, because I think it's not enough to learn what a z-score is and how to compute it, but to actually use it to test a research hypothesis to see if men are more likely to spank their children than women, which is my recurring example throughout the semester. You can't write your paper on that. And then finally, a final exam. It's cumulative because life is cumulative, and that's how you're going to get a grade. Any questions about where your grade comes from? Has anybody noticed something that is not part of your grade? Attendance? Yes. I have 2 children, not that you care to know that, because you don't care anything about me, but I have 2 children who I am responsible for taking to school, picking up from school, and generally making sure that they don't die. I care about them. I don't care what color your poop is or what is coming out of your body from where. These are actual emails that I get from students every semester after I explain to you that I don't care to receive those emails. Y'all overshare too much. Okay? I can tell you why your poop is purple. It's because you ate something the previous day with a lot of food coloring in it. Just so you know. Also an actual email that I wrote to a student. So when I say I don't care if you come to class, obviously I want you here. I'm doing this song and dance. I'd like an audience. But I don't want to know why you're not here unless it's actually important. If your dad dies in the middle of the semester, like my dad did, you should let me know. That I need to know. The fact that your poop is purple, no. These are the things that will happen to you this semester. Your car will break down. Your significant other will break up with you and either kick you out or move out. Your work schedule will change. Your cousin will get married. And you will find a dog side of the road. I got that one last semester. I found a dog side of the road. I'm not going to make it in class on time. Okay. Good luck. What am I going to do with that? So when it comes to attendance, videos are posted online. Don't tell me things I don't need to know. Right? Significant life events that are going to cause you to be out of school for a couple of weeks or significantly distract you from completing tasks on time. Yes. And my condolences ahead of time. All right? The thing that you need to see a medical doctor for? No. Right? PhD, fake doctor. And I'm not charged with keeping you alive. John and Abby, yes. You all, no. So there's no grade up there for attendance. There's also no grade up there for participation. Participation is like whether or not the professor likes you. I can't, well, let me rephrase that. I can quantify it, but I choose not to. I don't want to have to mark down every time that D asks a question or responds. I don't want to do that. So I'm not gonna. So participation is not part of the grade. So if you're one of those people that doesn't like to talk to other people and you want to sit in the back on your phone the whole time, go ahead. But if you're going to be on your phone the whole time, sit in the back where I can't see it and I can't wonder what they're doing. Because that's what happens when you have your phone in front of a professor. They're like, hey, what's more interesting than me? I want to know. Go ahead, sit in the back. Fall asleep. Watch a movie. Put your earbuds in. I really don't care. Blah, 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 blah. Talked about Moodle. Talked about section exercises. There's actual due dates for those, by the way. So for the section exercises, the first half of the class, I want you to have them done before the midterm. So that way you can see what the right answers are and you can go back and you can have at least a day. The Tuesday people can have at least a day to look at them. The Thursday people, you'll get a little bit extra time. So they're going to be due the day before the midterm. The same thing with the last sections. I want them due before the class actually ends. So that way, if you do have questions, you have time to review them and look at them. Excuse me. The exams are just like you would expect an exam to be. They'll be in class, in a seat, on paper. They will not be open book, although I will give you a cheat sheet. And last but not least, the course paper. It's a little paper. It's about 5 pages. But it's a real paper. It's a research paper. It might not be very original, but it is a paper. It's got its own section on Moodle, where I talk about what a literature review is, and I'll show you a neat program that you should all be using, neat free program that you should all be using not to get accused of plagiarism. I give you the data. We'll spend some time this semester using this website on how to access data so that you're not asked to collect it. So I very quickly just ran what we call a contingency table or a crosstabs to see the differences between male and female respondents. So a respondent is a person who answers a survey, and how they feel when it comes to spanking a child. I think the actual question is like, what is your feeling on this topic that sometimes a child needs a good, hard spanking? Right. So right now, this data, right, we can see that 32,090 men and 37,087 women of the 26,000 strongly agreed with that statement. Does that tell us that men and women are different? Well, that's the whole point of the class. The whole point of the class is to take very simple data like this, use statistics to find out, are men and women different? We can observe a difference, but does that mean they are different? One of the approaches that I've had to take with the course paper is a try is not good enough. So if you turn in a paper and you don't do the thing that I have taught you to do over 15 weeks, you get a 0 on it. Not an F, you get a 0. And so you're going to get a 0 for a large chunk of your grade. And that's the thing that people probably hate me the most for. But I can't have you leave this class and say that you know how to do statistics in the social science without some evidence that you have done statistics in social science. The paper's due before finals start, like almost the last minute before finals start. They've asked some faculty not to have everything due at midnight because it crashes Moodle. And so some of us have picked a random time. So 10:59 is my time. You submit it, then you go to bed at 11. I know I get a couple people laughing at that one. If you're not going to be here, let me know. You should come to class. We're here to help you. So in addition to a faculty member, we also have a number of offices on campus that are here. If you had in high school a An accommodations plan, you might want to consider also getting it here at university. We have Accessibility and Disability Services Office. So if in high school you got extended time on tests and you'd like extended time on this, go talk to those people. We have a math learning center, just like we have a writing center and a foreign language instruction center. It's a place you can go to get additional help. You can access materials through the website. Counseling Services does more than just mental health. They do things about your overall wellness. So if you're a person that has really, really bad sleep patterns, now's the time to get it fixed. They can help you with that. I don't know why I have the registrar and financial aid there, but you know, there you go. The Dean of Students Office, they're the folks that make sure you're being a good campus citizen. And then finally, academic integrity. If I have to accuse you of plagiarism, Clayton's the guy now. He'll help you out to get through the process. Class schedule, kind of already talked about this, but again, it's good for a syllabus to repeat information many times so that you can easily find it. So I don't have to keep saying it's in the syllabus, though it is. So there's the deadline for the first 6 exercises. The last day to drop this class will be Monday, October 28th. You might as well hang out until then. No sense dropping it now. Just hang around, see if you can learn something. You're already paying for it. The last 6 section exercises by the end of class. Papers are due on the 8th. I went back and forth between having them due on Friday or Sunday. I figured more time the better. That's why it's a Sunday. If you don't like it because it's the Sabbath, feel free to turn it on Friday or Thursday or whenever you want before that date. And then the final exam will be in person in this classroom. Unfortunately, on the last day of final exams. Do not book your plane ticket home because you've got a final with me on the 16th. Okay? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the course syllabus for Syllabus Day. Any questions? Yes. Doesn't matter. Use your phone. Yeah. Yep. Phones are fine. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to talk for a while. You shouldn't pack up. I mean, I know it's Syllabus Day, but I still have stuff to do. Yeah, so I'm not, like I said, I don't want to do the homework cycle because in college it doesn't work like it did in high school, where your poor math instructor went home, graded, and turned them back to you the next day. We don't do that here, right? So giving you feedback every 2 weeks, not so helpful. But what I've done is I've said, okay, this is going to be the problem set. You watch the video. I put the question up on the slide, and you have a choice. You can try it and see if you know how to do it, or you can just watch me do it. It's up to you. But that way that I know that you've seen how to be, once you're given a problem, to find an answer. And the homeworks, the section exercises, the chapter exercises, will be essentially how I test you on midterm and final. So you should do that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get mine for free. $70. That's a good 75. Yeah, no clue. I heard there's this place online that you can buy books called Amazon. They might help you out too. But I'm sorry, I don't know. I haven't made it to the bookstore yet. That's why I asked somebody if they've seen the book. Question? All right. Who in here is bad at math? Okay, one more thing I got to fix before we go on. Does anybody know the proper way to raise your hand? Yeah. You lock the elbow. Like, this is how I know you really want my attention instead of this. And you're just scratching your ear. Okay, so now that we know how to raise our hands, locking the elbow, how many people here are bad at math? Holy crap. I'd say probably 75% of you raised your hands. Okay, I'm going to show you on the first day, just stop, what I think is the scariest equation I have for the class. And then we can see, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. And then we can see if it's really that bad. Let's see, what class is this in 205? And I'm sorry, but I very frequently have these thoughts like, hey, let's do this. And then it just turns into you watching me on my computer for 2 minutes. Hey. Shift F5. Oops, that doesn't do that. Okay. No. All right. So I think this is probably the scariest equation we have this year. It's to calculate the slope coefficient of an ordinary least squares regression. You all already learned this in middle school as y equals mx plus b, which is the slope of a line on the little graph paper, rise and run. But in statistics, this is a beta coefficient in OLS regression. And when you look at that, that's a math equation that has approximately one number in it, a 2. Is there anybody who is convinced that they cannot do this? You can. Listen, here's the thing about this class. You learn in, let's see, 3rd grade, all of the math that you need to do statistics. Now, I had a 3rd grader. Her name's Abby. I can verify this, that my daughter last year could do the math. She can. I actually brought her to class one day and she answered a question, and then the student said, "Will you not do that again?" Because it makes me feel bad that at that time she was in 1st grade, that the 1st grader can answer a question. So the reason that I know, because I've observed, I have empirical proof that you've already learned how to do this. And in teaching this class, the reason that it's okay to have the cell phone calculator is because really, in statistics, we don't have really weird, complicated functions or operations for you to do. That sigma there, that's an addition sign. What is 2 plus 3? Ta-da! Everybody get that right? 2 plus 3 is 5? Okay, that's addition. You guys got that one down. The opposite of addition is subtraction. Quick, what's 6 minus 4? Didn't even have to use your fingers on that one. Everybody got that one right? 6 minus 4 is 2? Good, you can subtract. Addition, subtraction, what's the other ones? Multiplication. also here. You ready? What is, let's do a hard one, 6 times 7? No. Shit. That's 4 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Sorry, I shouldn't have gone above 5. Really, that's when I lost Abby. I knew that. I'm like, I think I can do this, but that's my fault. Gotta stay under 5, okay? But you got it right. All right, 42. Let's try this again. What's 3 times 2? Everybody got 6? You all can do multiplication, even when you don't recognize it, which is this little 2 there. The one number actually isn't a number. It's a what? It's a square. I'm going to tell you a very embarrassing story. There's this place, it's like math camp. It's called the Inter-University Consortium for Political and Social Research, ICPSR. It's held in Ann Arbor, Michigan, the University of Michigan, every summer. It's an 8-week program. They have 2 sessions, 4 weeks each. Graduate students and professors go to this place to learn statistics. I went when I was in graduate school at the University at Albany. Now, the best way to get from New York to Michigan is through Canada. So I drive through Canada. I've crossed, probably at Detroit, Windsor. I crossed the border. Border Patrol, not friendly people, by the way. Kind of dicks. What citizenship are you? Ha! I got that one. American. All right. Where are you going? This is where my hubris comes in. I'm going to math camp at the University of Michigan. How long are you going to be in A squared? Excuse me? How long are you going to be at A squared? I'm going to University of Michigan. The guy goes, where are you coming from? Ah, New York. Albany, New York. He goes, math camp? I said, yes, it's University, and I give him the full thing. ICPSR, Inter-University Consortium for Political and Social Research. I'm going to take classes in matrix algebra, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, Ann Arbor, AA, A squared. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. Thanks for letting me know that. Can I go now? Yeah. Right? Like, I'm ready to like show him my letter, like of admittance. I didn't get it. A squared, I saw it as A squared. He was making like a math pun, and I just wanted to not be kept in Canada, and so completely over my head, didn't get it. Square root is just multiplying a number by itself, or sorry, a square. So whatever that sum of xi minus x bar is, let's say it's 2. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. There we go. Last thing, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and it's a fraction. Once we do all the stuff on the top, we do the stuff on the bottom, and then we just reconcile the fraction. Just divide one number into the other to get usually another number. That's it. There's nothing else in there. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And as long as I keep the numbers under 5, or allow you access to the calculators on your phone, there's nothing you can't do in this class. So it's not going to be the math that gives you the problem. It's really not. The math is, again, and I hate to do this, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade math. And if you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, you're good at math, because that's really all it is. Trust me, okay? Aside from not knowing what A squared is, I've been doing a lot of math. I haven't come across anything in statistics that my daughter Abby can't do. And if she can do it, I'm pretty sure you guys can do it. I mean, I'd really be scared if you didn't know what like a 7 was. Then we'd have a problem. We all know what a 7 is, right? Okay. Whew. I got to check sometimes. Just want to make sure. But this is it, right? This is the worst equation that I throw to you. And by the time we get to this, I'm like, nobody does this by hand anymore. You can, because I've done it by hand. But this is when we start using computers and software, and that way you don't have to. Each one of those i's are individual numbers. And we had like 26,000 people talk about spanking. So do you want to do a subtraction 26,000 times, actually 3 times? No, nobody wants that. 78,000 subtractions? No. Computers, they're our friends. But the math itself is not hard. And you need to stop thinking you are bad at math. You're bad at remembering math. You're bad at being confident that you can do math. But you are not bad at math. You're just not. You need to knock it off. Right? It's not a good excuse. Especially since we're talking like 2nd grade stuff here. Anybody know what this is? It's what? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. No, that's the mnemonic you use to remember it. I remember it as PEMDAS instead of the Aunt Sally thing. There's also that other thing with King Philip's spaghetti. I never really got that one either. I couldn't do the mnemonics. I had to just, this is what it is. All right. PEMDAS is really what? So when we do this equation, we're going to work PEMDAS, parentheses first. So you do what's in the parentheses first, which in our case is going to be the 3 sets of parentheses. E is for exponents, like that 2 up there, that square. Multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. Right. Every once in a while, your mom or your aunt will post like a riddle on Facebook, and people are arguing about what it is. And it's like it's stupid because there's always 2 answers in math. And really, the 2 answers are whether or not your division is a fraction or not. And that's why people argue on that stupid Facebook thing. I had to repost this because I got it wrong. No, you didn't have to. You could have kept your shame to yourself. And so constantly, all we're going to be doing is, okay, here's an equation. What do we do first? First thing we do, we write down PEMDAS to remind ourselves that we're going to do the parentheses first, then the exponents, the multiplication, division, and then the addition, subtraction last. All right. Abby hasn't quite gotten PEMDAS yet. She's doing 4th grade math this year. I hope they give it to her this year. Like, she could tell me what it is, but she hasn't gotten the my Aunt Sally thing. So I'm sorry, we might be doing a little bit of 4th grade math here. The whole point of this math is so that we can answer the question. In order to do that, we're going to have to use probability theory. And so throughout the course, we're going to be talking about the difference between a sample and a population, and how it is that we use sample data to make an inference about the population. And when we do that lesson, I'll explain to you how you eat soup. But I can't give away all the good stuff today, so I'm going to stop here. You're going to feel better about your math skills, well, except for you. All right? And I will see you all next Thursday, except for the people who need to either sign in and tell me they were here in the Tuesday class, or ask me to get into the class, or just want to say hi and talk to me.